Section 1. Bonds loans you can buy and sell. Yo, South Africa. Ever loan someone money? Maybe it was a small amount, just enough to help them out in a pinch. Like, a friend needed cash for a food truck and you were feeling generous? You believed in their dream and wanted to support them. Bonds are kind of like that, but instead of your buddy, it's the government or a big company asking for the loan. They need funds for their big projects and operations. They promise to pay you back with interest. This means you get a little extra for your generosity. It's like lending money, but fancier. You get a formal agreement and a promise of returns. Now imagine you could sell that loan agreement to someone else. You don't have to wait for the entire loan to be repaid. That's what makes bonds cool. They are flexible and can be traded in the bond market. You're not stuck waiting for the entire loan to be repaid. If you need cash sooner, you can sell your bond to another investor. You can sell your bond to another investor in the bond market. This way, you can get your money back before the bond matures. Think of it like trading a delicious bunny chow recipe. Everyone wants a piece of that action. Bonds are in demand because they offer a reliable return. Bonds are how governments finance big projects like roads, schools, and hospitals. These projects are essential for community development and nation building. For companies, it's how they raise money to expand their business, develop new products, or maybe even buy a fleet of delivery drones. This helps them grow and innovate. So next time you hear bonds, don't think boring financial stuff. Think of them as dynamic tools for growth and development. Think loans you can trade, fueling growth and development. Bonds are a key part of the financial ecosystem. It's like investing, but with a side of nation building. By buying bonds, you're supporting projects that benefit everyone. Section 2. Funding Dreams: How Bonds Build Nations. Imagine this. South Africa wants to build a high-speed train connecting Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. This ambitious project aims to revolutionize travel, making it faster and more efficient for millions of people. Super cool, right? But where does the government get that much money? Building such infrastructure requires a massive financial investment far beyond what taxes alone can cover. Cue the bonds. The government issues bonds, essentially asking investors worldwide, hey, lend us money and we'll pay you back with interest. These bonds are like IOUs, promising to return the borrowed amount with a little extra. People buy these bonds, giving the government the cash it needs for the train. Investors see it as a safe bet, knowing they'll get their money back with interest. Voila, bonds just funded a dream project. The high-speed train becomes a reality, boosting the economy and creating jobs. Companies do the same thing. They issue bonds to raise money for their own big projects. Let's say Eskom wants to build a massive solar power plant. This project could significantly reduce carbon emissions and provide cleaner energy. They issue bonds, investors buy them, and boom! Eskom gets the funds to make South Africa a little greener. The investors in turn support a sustainable future while earning interest. Bonds are like financial building blocks, helping governments and companies fund projects that improve our lives. They enable the construction of infrastructure, development of new technologies, and expansion of services. It's like crowdfunding, but on a much larger, more official scale. Through bonds, we collectively invest in the future, making possible the dreams that shape our world. Section 3. The Companies Act: Keeping Corporations Honest. Now, we don't want companies running wild with bond money, right? That's where the Companies Act swoops in like a superhero. This law sets the rules for how companies issue bonds and handle that borrowed cash. Transparency is key. The Companies Act makes sure companies disclose all the important details about their bonds, like interest rates, repayment terms, and what the money will be used for. It's like a legally binding instruction manual for bond investors. This protects investors from shady dealings and ensures everyone's playing by the rules. Think of it as a financial referee, making sure the bond game is fair and square. Section 4. Financial Markets Act: Playing Fair in the Bond Market. The bond market is where these bonds are bought and sold. It's like a giant stock exchange, but for loans. And just like any marketplace, we need rules to prevent chaos and shenanigans. Enter the Financial Markets Act. This law sets the ground rules for bond trading, ensuring transparency and fairness. It's like the traffic cop of the bond market, directing traffic and making sure everyone's following the rules of the road. The act promotes market integrity, meaning investors can trust the information they see and trade with confidence. No funny business allowed. Section 5, the National Credit Act, protecting the little guy. Now, the National Credit Act might seem a little out of place here, but it plays a crucial role in protecting individual borrowers. While it doesn't directly govern bonds, it sets the tone for responsible lending and borrowing practices in South Africa. This act ensures that lenders, even when dealing with large bond issuances, act responsibly and don't take advantage of borrowers. It's like a safety net, catching anyone who falls through the cracks of the financial system. The act promotes fair and transparent lending, ensuring that everyone, from individual borrowers to large corporations, is treated fairly and ethically. Section 6, Bonds in Action, from Pretoria to power plants. In this section, we will explore the fascinating journey of bonds, from the heart of Pretoria to the power plants that keep our nation running. Let's bring this home with some real-life examples that illustrate the importance and impact of bonds in our daily lives. The South African government issues bonds, known as government bonds, to fund a variety of critical infrastructure projects. These projects can range from building new roads and schools to upgrading public transportation systems. Additionally, these bonds help pay off national debt and even ensure that the lights stay on in Parliament. These government bonds are considered relatively safe investments because they are backed by the full faith and credit of the government. Investors see them as a secure way to grow their money while supporting national development. Then we have companies like Eskom, our primary electricity provider. Eskom plays a crucial role in maintaining and expanding our electricity infrastructure. Eskom issues corporate bonds to finance the construction of new power plants, upgrade existing facilities, and ensure the stability of our electricity supply. This financing is essential for keeping our homes and businesses powered. These corporate bonds allow Eskom to invest in the technology and resources needed to provide reliable electricity, so we can all binge watch our favorite shows without interruption and enjoy a modern lifestyle. These are just two examples of how bonds are used every day in South Africa. From funding essential services like education and transportation to powering our homes and businesses, bonds play a vital role in our economy. They help build a stronger, more resilient nation for all of us. Section 7, Safeguarding Investors, Rules for a Reliable Market. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I know my money is safe in the bond market? Don't worry, South Africa has your back. Our legal framework, with the Companies Act, Financial Markets Act, and National Credit Act working in harmony, creates a safe and regulated environment for bond investors. It's like a financial fortress, protecting your investments from unnecessary risks. These laws ensure transparency, accountability, and investor protection, making the South African bond market a reliable and attractive destination for both local and international investors. Section 8. Knowledge is power making smart bond investments. Understanding the legal aspects of bonds is crucial for making informed investment decisions. It's like learning the rules of chess before you start moving your pieces. You don't want to lose your rook in the first 5 minutes. By understanding the laws governing bond issuance, trading, and investor protection, you can confidently navigate the bond market and make investments that align with your financial goals. Knowledge is your best defense against risky investments, so do your research, ask questions, and invest wisely. Section 9. The bond market's global impact. Now let's zoom out for a second. The bond market isn't just a South African thing, it's a global network connecting investors and borrowers worldwide. When countries need funding for development projects, they often tap into the global bond market. This interconnectedness means that events in one part of the world can impact bond markets everywhere. It's like a giant game of financial dominoes, where one wrong move can have ripple effects across the globe. Section 10. The future of bonds in South Africa. As South Africa continues to develop and grow, the bond market will play an increasingly important role in financing our future. From renewable energy projects to infrastructure development, bonds will be crucial in driving economic growth and improving lives. The government is committed to strengthening the regulatory framework, making the bond market even more transparent and investor-friendly. This will attract more investment, further boosting our economy. The future of bonds in South Africa is bright. offering investors a chance to be part of something truly transformative. Section 11. Conclusion. Your journey into the world of bonds. Congratulations! You've just completed a crash course on bonds in South Africa. You've learned what bonds are, how they work, and the legal framework that governs them. You've also seen how bonds are used in real life, from funding government projects to powering our homes. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the legal aspects of bonds, you can make informed investment decisions and be part of something bigger than yourself. So go forth, explore the world of bonds, and invest wisely.